Hi, I'm Brenda, and you're listening to the Little Kingdom Warriors podcast, where we help our kids discover God through play. Are you overwhelmed by the weight of your never-ending list of things to do, but desperately want to invest in your kids' faith life? Are you tired of the same old colouring sheets and seemingly lifeless Bible stories that you're even struggling to sound enthusiastic about? Well, I'm here to help. I'm a lover of all things creative, an ex-primary school teacher turned stay-at-home mum and follower of Jesus. Let's walk this path together and transform our kids' lives with new and exciting ways to explore the Bible and help them become God's little kingdom warriors. We might not have it all together, but with God, and maybe a strong coffee or two, we've got this. Hello and welcome to Little Kingdom Warriors. I'm your host, Brenda Cortis. Today we are just going to be doing a bit of a real life recap. I feel like a lot has been going on and I'd like to share with you what's been going on in my world. So to start off with, as I record this, it's still pretty hot here in Australia. We have started the exciting journey of potty training, my youngest, so that's been fun. Actually, today I thought it was quite amusing. I went out by myself to do a few errands, and my husband, who is not a big fan of poo and wee and is a bit of a wuss in that regard, when I got back home I found out that our dear little Hugh had went to the toilet on the sofa and had made quite a mess, which is a bit unfortunate because he has actually been going quite well, so my husband was a little bit unimpressed about that. So I've been feeling lately like I don't have it all together, and I think sometimes there's this illusion that people who host a podcast or are maybe offering some advice have everything worked out and they've got it all figured out, but no one else does. And that feeling has sometimes, I don't know, stressed me out a bit because I don't want anyone to think that I have it all together, that I know everything to do with parenting and that, I'm a fantastic role model, etc. I'm working on it. I'm trying, but I feel like I sometimes fail more than I get it right, and I'm sure we probably all have those moments as mothers and as parents. I don't know about you, but sometimes it's really hard to find encouragement and joy in those difficult seasons, and I'm not sure I would call this a difficult season, but it's certainly trying at the moment. My eldest Lily has been a little bit trying. I'm not sure where she gets that from because I'm pretty sure I was an angelic child. But I feel like at the moment she's just been questioning everything, and it's been quite discouraging when sometimes you feel like, what else can I do? I've exhausted all my patience on her. I've, done this, I've done that, and I feel like I'm not getting it right. Like this afternoon, yesterday, she pulled out all the things out of her cupboard to try and climb up into the cupboard. And of course, when I walked in, there was just clothes all over the floor. She had made this sort of big mountain because she wanted to pull something out from the top. And so today she spent a good portion of the afternoon putting all of those things away, and it was a lot of nagging on my part to sort of get it all done. And then after it had finally all been cleaned up, and there were a lot of tears and tantrums, etc., on her end, not mine. But, I said to her, well, what did you learn from this? And are you going to do it again? And she said, no. I'm really sorry, Mummy, I'll not do it again. So I suppose sometimes it's like that a little bit. We feel like we're just hitting our heads against a brick wall, but I suppose one thing that she has learned is to learn from her mistakes. Sometimes I feel that's all we can ask for and hope for as parents, is that our kids can learn when they've done the wrong thing and to be able to accept responsibility for that and come round out the other side. The other thing I've been struggling with is, aside from self-doubt and wondering if, I even have the authority to be able to talk on the topic of parenting and motherhood and discipleship and all of that, is a little bit of frustration around trying to I feel like I want to study the Bible more, but I lack the energy and then motivation to do so. So the other day, I've been listening to a bit of a series on Joyce Meyer and studying the Bible, and it's a great series, definitely recommended. I think it's on the Bible app, and she's got a downloadable through her website. But I sat down, and at the moment it's pretty hard for me to get up early because my kids wake up pretty early. And I suppose I'm also a bit of a night owl, so I struggle to wake up early in the morning. So I sat down at the kitchen table, and the kids were what I thought sort of busy enough that they could occupy themselves for a little bit while I was trying to get something out of the Bible. And I was trying to just read it and maybe do a bit of journaling. I used to do a lot of journaling, and I just haven't, lately, I haven't done any journaling. Probably haven't done any real journaling since before I had Lily. Occasionally I've done little bits and pieces when I've been going through a difficult time, or I just need to get something out on paper. But I used to be so good, writing about what I was going through. And I also found it was quite a good reflective thing to do, and it was a lovely way to look back and read through my journal and then go, oh yeah, I can't believe I was struggling with that, and God has actually answered that prayer. So I can see why it's important. Anyway, so I was sitting down at the kitchen table. The kids were probably playing with the wooden trains Hugh got for his birthday, and I just kept getting interrupted, and it's so frustrating when I suppose you're trying to make an effort to study the Bible, and it's just not happening. So I think what I've learnt, particularly in the season that I'm in, is that motherhood is messy, and sometimes you've just got to roll with it. So I suppose some strategies that I have, picked up in this busy season are just kind of rolling with the punches. Like, if I feel like I want some spiritual input, I'm listening to a podcast like by Joyce Meyer at the moment. I'm listening to one of her things while I'm busy unpacking the dishwasher in the morning. I'm maybe turning on the worship music after I've finished unloading the dishwasher. Just these small snippets of time that kind of turn my heart towards God, but I don't always have time to sit down for, half an hour with the Bible in front of me in the morning. That's just not the way my life looks at the moment. And I've also been finding in the evening, I generally always, and I have been for years and years, sit down and read the Bible in my bed before I go to sleep. And I've been finding that I'll, get out it's often I'm reading like a devotional or something on the Bible app, and occasionally I get out my paper Bible and have a look through something there. But I've just been finding I've been reading, and then when you read and you're not actually taking in anything you're reading, that's sometimes me at the end of the day because I'm just fried. So I'll start reading and I'll get halfway through and I'm like, I'm not actually taking in any of this, and I just have to stop. So that's where I'm at the moment with Bible study. Any other tips on how you manage studying the Bible, particularly with tiny ones, would be greatly appreciated. I'm sure I could do with many, many more parenting and motherhood tips, and I'm sure many of the listeners would also appreciate some advice. So if you can share those in the Little Kingdom Warriors Facebook community, which will be linked in the show notes, I would love any more tips and tricks and advice. That would be great. There was a lovely post that was posted by a lady whose name I'm probably going to read wrong, so I do apologise in advance to this lady. And her page is called Finding Joy in His Word with Asherita. Anyway, what she's written was so profound, I suppose, to me, and made such an impact on me that I actually screenshotted it and printed it out, and I had it on my bathroom wall, and I find it so encouraging, so I'm going to read it to you now. It says, "Mama, your work is important. Raising babies is hard work. Between the dirty diapers and the tantrums, the quick moments of rest during nap time, you truly live out Colossians 3:23. Work willingly at whatever you do as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Mummy, you are not alone. In your feelings of exhaustion, frustration, and inadequacy, God is with you in every moment. Matthew 28:20. Mama, you are loved. The Creator of the universe sees you and loves you endlessly. You are God's child, and you teach your children how to live loved. 1 John 3:1. Mama, you are a world changer. Raising children is glorifying to our Father in heaven. Your influence as a mother can span generations to come. Whatever season of motherhood you find yourself in, know this, there is purpose in this season. I just wanted to share that because it, brings it back home. Sometimes we feel like everything that we do is all in vain and that no one sees what we do, and so often nobody but God sees all the effort, I suppose, we put in and the frustration that sometimes we go through and the tiredness and all of it, and I suppose those feelings of self-doubt which I was talking about, but God sees it, and God knows that our work is important even when we feel like perhaps we could be doing more. What I'm beginning to understand is that God is able to work through us despite us. So moving on to a few other random things that are going on in our life. I have had my morphology scan, so I'm now, I think it's 24 weeks. So Lily was a bit in denial. I can't remember if I talked about this or not. So sorry if you already know this information, but Lily was utterly convinced that we were going to be having a baby girl. Well, it's a baby boy. So when we told her, she was like, no, it's a bubby girl. It's a bubby girl. And she's finally come round. So yes, we are having a little boy from the looks of things. And yep, so it feels like it's all, getting pretty close really. My little sister, she's due soon. She's about 34, 35 weeks. So that's pretty exciting. And at the time of recording, we're going to be getting ready to go out to my in-laws' cattle property soon. So I'm looking forward to that, but hoping it's not too hot because it has been very hot lately, and it seems to be really hot days there during the day and then a bit cooler at night. So sort of trying to work out what to pack. Do we pack warm things or not? Not sure. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me rambling on this week. As always, I would love it if you could pop over to the Little Kingdom Warriors Facebook community and share any tips, tricks and advice you've got for other parents in there. And also, if you do have any requests for episodes, I would love to hear those. So shoot me a message or comment on my Facebook posts. That would be great. And I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Hey friends, if this podcast encouraged you or made an impact on you in some way, I would be so grateful if you could take a minute to leave a review to help other people find my show. Don't forget to click subscribe so you are the first to know when a new episode airs. Hop on over and join my free Little Kingdom Warriors Facebook community, which I will link for you in the show notes. Thanks so much for listening and God bless. I'll see you next time.